Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to SFR for the last race of the season in Abu Dhabi for Division 2. One championship is still on the line. It is Owen Mansell versus Bur-Meister for the championship. We started the stream 30 minutes earlier because we've got pre-race interviews to get to. And we're going to start with the man in P2, Bur-Meister, as he wants to... Master, on to you, mate. So you first appeared here a few seasons ago, and you showed some relatively good pace as well. You didn't start here at the Bahrain Grand Prix, you had a DNS, but ever since you came in Silverstone, you had a great battle. And it's been, for both of you, and Owen Mansell has been an up and down season. Talk us through what point of the season do you think has gone wrong and where you could have improved?
Well, in the summertime I play a lot of tennis as well, and so I was in the beginning of the season. It was still good weather and that kind of stuff, so I missed a couple because of wanting to play tennis instead of doing the racing. And then after a few races I found out I was still pretty okay on pace, not as in previous years with previous games, but I could get some podiums and that kind of things. So I think after, I don't know, after 7 or 8 races I started to believe in it again and starting to put more effort in. And then the results kept coming, and I think always made a lot of points except on some spins in Hungary and maybe somewhere else I got spun. But yeah, all the joy came back in the end. And then until 2 weeks ago when I had a vacation planned, I missed those two, so there had to be some luck, and luckily Mansell finished somewhere only 6 points, so it's still exciting now, and it's good that we can finish it on this day, I think.
How do you feel for the Abu Dhabi track? Is it a strong race for you? I know in another league on Sunday I commentated over you. I can't remember which league it was, but you were quite strong there too in Abu Dhabi. So how do you feel heading into this Grand Prix? And what's your expectations too?
I think I'm ready to go for the win, and I feel good. I put some practice in. I know the data, so I'm feeling good, and I put some effort in, and that's all I can do. And I wish Mansell also good luck tonight on the track. And but I'm ready.
That's good to hear. You've got the most podiums than everybody this season. You've got 10 podiums altogether this season. I know qualifying hasn't been your strongest forte as well this season. You really have struggled in qualifying lower end in the top 10 or outside of it. So qualifying is something that you need to work on, because in Qatar last week you did struggle and it broke the DRS train because you and the two Ferraris were fighting whilst the top 4 of Yarham, Smoke, Mansell and Electro down pulled away. So do you think qualifying will be another problem for you today?
No, I don't think so. Also last week I was up in my last lap 3/10, but I just invalidated it on the penultimate corner, and yeah, that's where I lost probably P2 or something, and then I had to start way back, and I could make up the places in the beginning, but then there was a DRS gap which I couldn't overcome. So that, yeah, if the quality of last week was the last one, it was a bit closer on points maybe now, but in the end it's got to be fun, and I think qualifying won't be a problem here.
What's been your favourite race this season? Because I've known you've had a lot of good races this season, and you've really made your way up to the field after disappointing qualifying and won a few decent races as well. So talk us through what's been the highlight of your season so far.
Well, I don't know. I like the wins, I guess, but also I can really enjoy the old school tracks with grass on the side. That's when I'm really coming alive. And if you make one mistake, you're on the grass or on the sand or whatever. That's all the tracks, the old-fashioned Silverstone, Hungary, Spain, that kind of tracks. I like them.
Yeah, I know you're quite good on the old school tracks. I've seen it before as well. But do you look back and regret any moments in the season? Do you think back and wish, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that? Or do you just forget about those races and just move on to the next one?
Well, normally I would move quite quickly on to the next one because it's just wasting time to bother about it. But looking back at this season, the last vacation could have been planned a bit better, and if I attempted just all the races, I think we would be done already now. But yeah, it's the way it is, and let's make it a great night.
Indeed, and are you feeling are you feeling nervous with this one? Are you just gonna win and just hope that Mansell just finishes us out the top four? Is that what you're just hoping for in this Grand Prix? Because essentially you got nothing to lose, but it's all about where Mansell finishes in the end.
Yeah, that's it. I got nothing to lose, and I can do what I can do, and let's see if that's good enough. But I don't really have like nerves or something.
That's good. I know you've been in plenty of races for a long time. You've been league racing for a very long time, since 2017, did you say?
Yeah, something like that. I'm not quite sure, but the first years, like from 2010, I think I started playing with a controller, and the first years were just against AI doing seasons and that kind of stuff. So, and then I got involved in league racing around 2017 or something, I think. Yeah.
You've been league racing for a long time, so you've got plenty of experience to go with it as well. I started league racing at the end of 2018, so 1 year later than you. And how do you enjoy these F1 games? Do you enjoy the pressure from all the drivers around you?
I told you that way more times, but I enjoyed the previous versions, especially when they were still Codemasters. Those were way better than this grippy game nowadays, I think. So I enjoy the racing, and I enjoy the league, and most of the times it's really clean, and everybody respects each other. So that's what I enjoy, and yeah, also 10 podiums. It doesn't get silly in that kind of way, so it keeps fun by getting some podiums and some wins.
You may have not had the most wins this season. You had 2 wins, but still, the 10 podiums count. The consistency counts as well. And despite difficult races, you always get back through. How do you come back after difficult races? Do you just reset? Just right, I've done this, and just work on the setup, work on my race craze, see what's gone wrong in the last few races?
Yeah, sometimes I watch the races back, which I recorded, and then you can see things you can change, and I think that's the best way to do it. But if I really mess up a race, I'm feeling bad the day after, like why did I do that, and why? But it's only like 1 day, you know. But then it's straight on to the next one and do some TT in the night, and we'll get on with it.
And in terms of your own performance this season, Bur-Meister, on your own reflection this season, how do you think you performed? How do you think you performed for the whole season?
Yeah, I think it went pretty well, except for a couple of races where I spun or did some things. But as we said, like the 10 podiums is good, and it gains a lot of points if you're like a consistent top 5 runner. Yeah, some of the spins, maybe in Spain, I had like winner's pace, I think, and I think I spun there or something, but I came back later on, and I really enjoyed that track as well. And I think also in Hungary, I got spun or something, and
yeah, you did.
Those are maybe things that I can avoid and be a little more patient, like I'm showing later on in the season. And then just let people go and get them 1 or 2 laps after everybody's settled up, because in lap 1 or lap 2 there's only to lose, not to win most of the times.
And in terms of championship as well, have you had a what you needed to do? Has the championship been in your mind for the whole season, or have you just focused on 1 race at a time?
Well, I think before my vacation I was on top of the leaderboard, and maybe a couple races before also. But yeah, if you're running in top 3, then you're looking at the championship and you want to win it. So yeah, I kept looking every time at the provisional standings, and just be curious how the standings are and what's possible, and what did Mansell do and Adamies a couple of weeks ago. So it's quite fun if you are there.
And also, your teammate has been a help in the last few races by defending against Mansell. Have you and your teammate Oliver have any words with each other? Have you talked about the strategy in Abu Dhabi or what you're going to potentially try to do cleanly and legally?
I guess we're gonna do that in 5 minutes after I leave this stream, and then we'll discuss. But he's been great ever since he joined the Williams, and he done a lot of great work for me as a team and helping me and giving me toes in qualifying. So he's really doing a great job. The new Minister of Defense, I think.
Yeah, indeed he is, especially when showing it back in Texas USA. You almost won the Japanese Grand Prix too, so your teammate has been up there gaining points for Williams. In terms of constructors, you're currently P5, just behind Aston Martin, so even in the constructors, 4th and 5th of Aston Martin and Williams are close together. McLaren are P3 in the championship, but are you concerned about Aston Martin, or are you just thinking about the Drivers' Championship?
I'm only thinking about the Drivers' Championship. I think like most of the year I've drove alone for Williams, so the constructors was never in mind at any point.
Yeah, I know that you've driven alone a lot this season. You haven't really had a teammate there to support you, so yeah, you did a fantastic job this season, Bur-Meister. And Laser, you got any questions for Bur-Meister or anything to say?
You covered it quite well, but I've got one question. Did you expect to be challenging for a title when you begun the season, or where did you expect to be?
Well, I began the season as a reserve also because I said, yeah, I want to play tennis and I cannot commit every week. But then after the second week without practice, I think that was Silverstone, and I got podium or P4, I think. And yeah, after that point, I started to take it a bit more seriously, but especially after 6 or 7 races, I started to believe in it and trying to do my best and trying to get the most points every week without making too much mistakes.
Okay, yes, great. Best of luck, mate.
Thank you.
Fair success. I hope to see you on the podium.
Thanks, guys, and have fun commentating, and already thanks for all the work you put in and the success it is. And I want to wish Mansell also the best of luck, and let's have some fun tonight.
Yeah, thank you very much, mate. It's been a pleasure to watch you all season. You've been very consistent, and I really hope that things go well for you as well. So good luck tonight, mate, and keep it clean.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, we move on to the championship leader himself, Owen Mansell. How are you feeling for tonight, mate? And do you think you're going to secure the championship? Are you a bit nervous? Too, because I know that you and Michael Wasp haven't really got along this season. You haven't really had the chemistry as two teammates. And I know back in Miami, where both of you had a bit of a conflict, because I think you retired on the track and he reported you for it. But are you have you talked to Michael Wasp? Are you and you teammate are going to work together?
Yeah. So just recently, well, not recently, but about 2 months ago, we've been obviously talking on Discord in private message. Basically, he's been struggling on the setups and all that, so I've been trying to help him out on that because he wants to be also there at the top. But yeah, if Oliver is going to be really helping out Bur-Meister tonight, then I need Mindful Wasp to be there with me as well. I know. Sometimes he does struggle in qualifying, sometimes he does amazing, sometimes not so great, but wherever Oliver qualifies, I just hope that Mindful Wasp is also there with him, because like Bur-Meister has said, Oliver has been a bit of a pain since he joined, especially towards me. So yeah, I also need Mindful Wasp to be there with me as well.
You started here back in season 8. You've got 10 wins, 33 podiums, 1,284.5 points, 0 championships, but that could change tonight. And talk about your teammate. He's also a Division 2 champion as well. He's also, I think, champion of season, season 9 or season 10. But yeah, he's also a champion too. So he might give you some advice as well, given that he's been in the championship fight. But talk us through your season as well, because you, Adams and Bur-Meister, it's not been a smooth sailing season for neither of you, because sometimes you can get a good result, and sometimes it can go really wrong as well. So talk us through the up and downs, the highs and lows this season. And Keith, can you message Rogue Smithy as well, because he thinks he's commentating with me tonight. So it's Simo that's commentating with me tonight.
Right, I'll message him. Leave it with me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it all started off the very first race of the season in Bahrain. Obviously, I was expecting to be, especially in qualifying, I was expecting to be up there. I can't remember where exactly I qualified, but it's somewhere in the midfield, and I was quite surprised how low down I qualified. And then obviously I had contact with Clusser, and then basically that was at the start of that season. I was like, I want to be in this championship fight. Obviously, what happened last season, I just missed out on it. So this season, I definitely wanted to get involved in that championship fight, which obviously is where I am now. Yeah, and then I can't exactly remember what happened in the next race. Yeah, that's it. Contact again on the straight. So that was 2 races down to forget, and then move on. And then I think it all started off, you mentioned Miami. That's where I got my first win at Miami. I think that's where it pretty much started off, my comeback in a sense. And obviously I've got 4 wins now on my bout this season. Obviously the 2 big results was probably at Singapore and Monaco, where that was basically a double win. But from that point as well, obviously Bur-Meister was with me when I got those wins. I think he was also on the podium as well, so I thought he's going to probably be tagging along and trying to get involved in this championship fight, because I think we were low down. I can't remember exactly where we were, but we weren't there at the time. So yeah, both of us have done really well to be where we are right now at this stage of the season. And obviously I think my best highlight has got to be the win at Austria. Obviously that comeback with a smoke, and I can't remember who the other driver was at the time, but that was a good race to remember, definitely.
Yeah, Smoke got caught up in an incident with Lord Brad the top G, and he also got caught, and it was Martin and Lord Brad the top G who scored the podium in second and third place. But in terms of overall, were you worried about the 2 Saubers? Because the 2 Saubers of Calvin and Cassidy at the start of the season, they were the ones to be beaten. They were 1-2, I think, at the Chinese Miami Grand Prix. Somewhere along the lines there, they were 1-2 in the championship. And Sauber were on form, but recently they went downhill, unfortunately. So did you think that the 2 Saubers were the ones to beat this season?
In all honesty, no. I thought both McLarens were. Obviously, especially in China, I think they got a 1-2 and they overtake each other on the final lap or something. But Keith's and Adams were up there pretty much the whole season. I don't exactly know what happened to Keith, but he dropped down. Obviously, him being the defending champion as well. But at the start of the season, I thought McLaren and even Sauber was going to be up there, but I don't exactly know what happened to all 3 of them with their pace, but they suddenly just dropped. I don't know if it was just because of they've just been struggling, or everyone around them just improved in pace like I did, and I'm guessing Bur-Meister as well. But yeah, no, obviously they haven't had great results, and unfortunately they've been then obviously not in this championship fight. And obviously Adams, I suppose, he's been there, but he hasn't been on the pace as me and Bur-Meister. He's just there to pick up the pieces, and obviously those 2 results that he DNF'd really cost him, and it's unfortunate really, because I would like to have him involved in this fight as well today as well. But it happens, and best of luck to him for next season. It can always happen again for him next season, because he's got some strong pace. But it's all down to me and Bur-Meister today, and I just need to concentrate on my own race. Tried my best to concentrate on my own race, and just try and finish in that top 4 if I can.
Or you just, is your focus today is just try and finish ahead or just around Bur-Meister today, not thinking about particularly the win? Because all you need to do today, you got 9 points the advantage, just try and stay in the fringes of Bur-Meister or around him, because that's your main focus today.
Yeah, exactly that. Obviously, if Bur-Meister is on another level tonight, then fair play to him, because in my sense, I'm kind of struggling around here. Not as much. I mean, I've just tweaked my setup a little bit, and it seems to be working better. So we'll see how that goes on. But like you said, as long as I'm around Bur-Meister, then that's fine, because obviously, like you said, it's 9 points, and there's I think it's 2 points to each position from the top 8 or something like that. So I just need to make sure I'm around him, and obviously if he is in that top 4, I need to be in that top 4. Simple as that.
When you lost the championship lead at the Sao Paulo race, because I think you made contact with somebody, you dropped into P3 behind. You dropped into P3 behind Adams and Bur-Meister. What was going through your head? Did you think there was any way back in the championship after the Brazilian Grand Prix as well? Because you were, I think, 19 or 18 points behind at the time.
Yeah, so I think I had like 3 separate incidents in that race, and obviously it all kicked off with making contact with Oliver, because he obviously made a
I remember that
dive bomb on me, and he just spun me out. He says that he lost control or something, I don't know. But then obviously the race after that, I think Bur-Meister announced that he's going to miss the next 2 races because he went on holiday. So obviously I weren't too down about that, because then obviously, like I said, I heard that he was going on holiday, so it was my best opportunity to get back in that fight, and obviously I did with that win in Austria. But I think in current times, and it was only what 2 weeks ago in Las Vegas when I spun. Simple as that. I mean, I'm still gutted about it now, but I've just got to concentrate on this race and bring it home, because that spin in Las Vegas could cost me, and I just hope it doesn't. But if I lose it, that's the race that I'll be gutted about the most. But I'll just have to. I can only do what I can around Abu Dhabi tonight.
You're both going for your first championship, so both intense at the time as well. And as a driver myself, when you make mistakes, how are you in terms of coming back? Do you reflect on those mistakes, or do you move on easily like Bur-Meister? Because as myself, it takes me like if I think I have good pace, but I make these small mistakes, it really annoys me, and it does carry on to the next race. But how do you manage to overcome that situation?
Yes. Similar to what Bur-Meister said, so obviously I try and get over as soon as possible, and then I just try and move on. Simple as that. Like Bur-Meister says, if he has a bad race, he doesn't watch the stream, and it's exactly like me. If I have a bad race, I don't watch the stream. It's simple as that.
Same.
I think everyone does it, to be fair, but I just want to try and move on as soon as I can. And get on to the next race, but obviously this is the final race, so I can't do that. But I would have to say it's been the most successful season I have had in SFR, 100%. And like I said, this is the best opportunity I've ever had to take a championship. So hopefully I can bring it home.
And also in terms of the Constructors' Championship, you are only about 34 points behind McLaren. I think Red Bull and Alpine are a bit too far away, but are you also thinking about the Constructors' Championship for 3rd place, or is it just pure Drivers' Championship tonight for you?
Exactly so what Bur-Meister said. I'm all Drivers' Championship. I've been like that since the start of the season. Obviously, when we picked teammates at the start of the season, I didn't really have anyone. I just chose a random teammate, and then obviously Mindful Was came along. But yeah, no, ever since the start of the season, I've been like, I want that Drivers' Championship. But this is my main aim, is to bring that home. Whatever happens in the Constructors, it happens. I mean, P4 is still good. But yeah, no, Drivers' Championship all the way.
Are you worried about your teammates' performances? Because in the last few races, he hasn't really been up there inside the top 10. He's had one podium this season. That was back in Saudi Arabia, where both of you were on the podium that day. But he had glimpses of good performances. I remember the Mexican Grand Prix when he was up there challenging for the lead. But as soon as he exited the pit lane on a brand new set of hardcore powered tyres, he just broke his wing. I don't know where. Are you concerned about his performance tonight?
Like I said, because I'm not really concentrated on the Constructors, no offense to Wasp, I don't really care what happens to him in an instance. I mean, I do appreciate him. He's done it a couple of races now where he's just moved out the way when he's in front in a race. He's just moved out the way of me, or just a very easy overtake for me, and I really do appreciate that, because especially what he did in Austria, that's that was amazing what he did in Austria. Obviously, he defended like hell to try and keep those positions, and obviously I was able to pull away with it. Maybe he'll do it again today. I'm not 100% sure. We'll see what happens. But from that race forward, I think from Austria is when I was like, okay, I really do actually appreciate Wasp for doing this, because, like I said, if Wasp didn't do what he did, I don't think I would have been able to even win in Austria. But hopefully, if he is up there, he can do it again, and this time towards a certain someone, obviously Bur-Meister's teammate.
Anyways, it's going to be very tense between you and the Aston Martin camp, you and the Williams camp, so I can't wait to see how it all goes down. I really pray that it all goes well for you. And in terms, well, I think you've already said it as well, but at Abu Dhabi, are you quite strong in terms of race pace? Because you said you struggled in qualified, so do you think the race pace would be better for you?
Yeah, I need to. I've been concentrating more on my qualifying than race pace. Main reason being because if you're not qualifying in a brilliant position, you're going to be struggling to get up the field for your race. Obviously, I've been qualifying around P7, P8 at the moment. So again, if I can do that, that'd be great. Obviously, even top 5 would be brilliant, because I know I'm already in that pack. But I just need to make sure I keep it clean in qualifying, and obviously finish in top 7, top 8, top 9 in qualifying, just to maybe have a chance in the race. Obviously, I need to look at Bur-Meister and see what he's doing in qualifying at the moment, and see where I can improve on that as well. But yeah, I just need to get qualifying over and done with, and see what I can do for the race. Like I said, I've tweaked the setup a little bit. And it seems to be more stable. Obviously, I was struggling with oversteer throughout the whole week, but just like 2 hours ago, I've just adjusted the setup very, very slightly, and it seems to be working better. So hopefully, I'll have a strong race.
I just read a comment saying stop gassing and choose your car, Mansell, from Daniel, SFR Dan. So again, he asked him why, Mansell. But Laser, you know Owen Mansell for quite a long time now. You've raced against each other in Division 1 a few seasons ago. Have you got any questions or anything to ask for him?
Yeah, I won't keep him too long. It's about to start, but I've got one question. So similar to Bur-Meister, when did you start believing you could actually win the championship? I know you said you aimed to at the beginning of the season, but when did you really believe, right, I've got a serious chance?
I think it all started off when I got that double win in Singapore and Monaco, and that was pretty much just before halfway of the season. I was like, right, this is definitely starting to come back at me now. So from that point onwards, I was like, let's start to properly push and go for it. And obviously Bur-Meister's been doing the same as well. But that double win in Singapore and Monaco definitely helped, and that's when I thought, this is done.
Okay,
Sorry.
yeah, fair enough, mate. That's all from me. Good luck tonight as well.
Says time to be Sergio Perez in a Williams. So yeah, it looks like you've got something to deal with, and you might have to be careful, because Oliver Smith might go for the ultimate strategy, hards to mediums, and possibly hold you up. So you got to be very careful, Owen. I'm very nervous for you and Bur-Meister, but whatever happens, I wish you both the best. You both deserve the championship, and may the best come out on top.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Hopefully, both you and Simo will have a good commentary session, and me and Bur-Meister can hopefully put on a show. But we'll see what happens, and hopefully I'll speak to you guys later on.
Simo, you got any questions for Owen before he leaves?
No, just all the best, and try your very best to bring it home, because I know you've been wanting this championship for a long, long time. But yeah, no. Do your best, bring it home, fair racing and all that, I know you do. And just enjoy it, enjoy the race, and hopefully be world champion at the end of it.
Cheers, guys. Thank you,
No
and
worries.
I'll see you in a bit.
Take care.
And there's one more person in the party for a few words, and that is Keith, the last season champion of SFI Division 2. Welcome, mate. How are you?
Welcome. Hello, Jamie. I just wanted to jump on. Brilliant season. Good luck to Mansell and Bur-Meister. But just say thank you to you for the whole season. It's been brilliant. Your knowledge is, or should I say, your memory is ridiculous. and I know that I love watching it back every day, every week. So yeah, thank you from everyone at SFR.
I appreciate that, mate. That really means a lot to me. And well done to you as well for a few wins this season. I know you turned media trashing on from full trash to media trashing.
Yeah,
so
that was the. Yeah, I'm getting there though. Start of the season, it was a bit shaky. But yeah, next season we'll go for next season. See what I can do.
Well, before you leave.
But yeah.
Before you leave, Keith, you're actually in a very close championship fight with Red Bull. There's only 10 points separating you and Red Bull. So, how do you feel for this Grand Prix? You and Adams have been strong. You've had your moments, both of you, but you're both in a championship fight with Red Bull. So, how do you think it's going to go down between you and the boys from Milton Keynes?
Yeah, I think there's been some good races between like me and Atlas and Clusser. Like we always seem to be right near each other in the race, which obviously then shows in the constructors. But more importantly, I'm 5 points, 6 points off Dan. So that's my challenge tonight, Dan. I'm coming for you.
Well, thank you very much, Keith.
Right, I better go because it's race time.
Yep.
Enjoy.
Let's go one more time, shall we? Right, enjoy, guys.
Well done.
Yeah. Lads, I'm also shoot off. Have a good
Thank you.
commentary session and catch you both later.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, ladies. It's been a pleasure to speak to you.
Yep, you too. Bye.
Before we head into the qualifying session, I'm going to take a short break because I spoke since 30 minutes ago, and Simo, you can do what you want. So I'll join you back for qualified, which will be very soon. There's one more driver left to join, and let's hope and pray for a good championship end to Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, so it all comes down to this. It all comes down to Abu Dhabi. I'm just doing me counting for the standings at the moment, and it's going to be close. If Mansell wins and Bur-Meister comes second, he will win with 369 points. Bur-Meister will be in second with 357. At the moment, Mansell's with 344 points. Bur-Meister's just behind by 9 points on the 335 points. However, if Mansell comes third and Bur-Meister wins, Mansell will still win by 4 points. So ideally, if Bur-Meister wants to win, he wants it to be that he wins the race and Mansell comes fourth or possibly lower. There's many different ways that either driver can win. I'm just trying to get as many statistics as I can at this moment in time. But yeah, there's that many possibilities on who can win the championship, and at the moment, wherever Mansell comes, circumstances. So say like if he comes for Mansell, like I said, is if he wins it, he will finish with 360 points. And if Mansell with me, oh no. So if Mansell comes fourth and Bur-Meister wins it, Mansell will win by 2 points. From working it out, and he will possibly win it. However, if Bur-Meister wins and Mansell comes fifth, they will be even on points. So if Bur-Meister wins and Mansell comes fifth, then I'm guessing it will go down to the amount of wins or different. I'm not too sure at that point. So it's going to be very interesting. I'm actually looking forward to it. They've both had an absolute cracker of a season this year. And yeah, they've both had ups and downs. Mansell's had races where he's had to retire or he's had crashes. He's not had great ones where he's collided with his teammate, like in Bahrain in round 1. Bur-Meister himself as well, he's had a couple of downers of races where he's not been great with the track or he's been on holiday, and again Mansell's been able to take his opportunity for that bit as well. So yeah, it's going to be a good race. I'm actually looking forward to it. So we're just waiting for the final people to say yes, let's go. And we will be underway for the final qualifying of Division 2 of 2024. I think we are just starting to ready up now. I believe Jamie is still missing. So.
Yep, I went for a toilet break as usual, so I am back. But Division 1's Division 3 race was quite spectacular as well, with OWR Pabelli, the champion of SFR for Division 3, having a great scout with him, Shaggy, Havlar, Mitrandia, and also Mr. Wiggles. I believe Mr. Wiggles won the Grand Prix on the hardcore power ties. Another great win for Mr. Wiggles, a late season resurgence after missing out the championship, but obviously got nothing to lose, so great race victory for him. And Pabelli in second, and Shaggy in P3, which is a great result for him as well. For Shaggy, as he is a reserve driver in a league on Monday, I commentate, but he's a reserve driver in both leagues, SFR and the other league too. So I was surprised to see him not racing yesterday, but it's all good. But we're heading now into the qualifying session, so whoever is missing, we'll get them in during qualifying, but hopefully we have all 20 drivers here for the final time in Abu Dhabi. It's going to be a spectacular one. There is 2 DRS zones headed down the long back straights there, so we'll see how the drivers play tactics without. Sergio Perez, we know, played beautiful tactics with Lewis Hamilton back in 2021 when he defended against Hamilton on all soft power tyres. Hamilton passed him, then Perez repassed him with the DRS open, and was called the Minister of Defence. But these days, he's probably called the Minister of Disgrace after he's not really performing in the Red Bull these days. We're in the qualifying session, 18 minutes then, and this is going to be intensified. I can't wait to see how these drivers do. We know that some people in this league, in this qualifying session, have great one-lap pace, but they don't have great race pace, and we've seen that plenty of times. So let's see how it'll affect this race.
Yes, absolutely. I was going to say, like Mansell was saying earlier, he was struggling a little bit, but he's changed it up a bit on his setup side of things. Bur-Meister as well, he's looking forward to it from what we've heard as well. So yeah, it's going to be really, really interesting. It's going to be one of my favourite races of the season, I think. And I would like to say before we all start this whole qualifying, it's been an absolute honour and pleasure of being co-coms alongside you this season, Jamie. I'm looking forward to hopefully doing it with you next season.
No worries, it's been a pleasure to be alongside you as well. I've had multiple people be alongside me, including Oliver himself when he was racing for Division 1, but got demoted to Division 2, and he has been a force to be reckoned with against Owen Mansell. Owen Mansell was commentating over him in Division 1, and now he's competing with him, so yeah, not the type of scenario he wants there, but in the background, that doesn't look alright for me, but hopefully that goes away, because that didn't look great in the background. But on board with both Ferraris this season, we'll talk about them because they're 1 point separated. They've been so close together, both of them. They've had one podium each, OWR Zenum and Emils. Emils scored a podium back at the Miami Grand Prix, and Zenum scored a podium at the Imola Grand Prix, and they both had great pace, but at the same time they've both made mistakes themselves, and I can't wait to see what they do next season, because Zenum has shown that he's capable of improving, and he knows what he's doing wrong, and I really hope for next season he rectifies his mistakes, because I could see him being a contender as well for maybe not for the championship just yet, but a regular race winner or podium sitter. It's just a shame because he's wasted so many points. He's qualified so high before. On board with Klusler, this man has interested me a lot. He's only about 15 points away from Adams of the championship. Remember, there's still a battle going on for P3 in the championship. Adams versus Klusler versus Atlas Copo. So Adams maybe thinking he's sitting pretty in P3, but not yet. Adams got a lot of work to do to keep the 2 Red Bull drivers behind him. And Red Bull and McLaren are also having a scrap for P2 the championship. There's only one Alpine out there tonight, and that Alpine is currently, where is he right now? The other Alpine is Caspino. So Caspino is a reserve driver, and last time he raced, he did a good job as well. Scored 10 points, and last time he raced was at the Vegas Grand Prix, so that's the last time he appeared. I believe he finished on the top 10, did the LP driver, and he, even though he's the only LP driver here so far, he's got a lot of work in his hands tonight, because he's currently first in the championship in terms of the constructors. So there's a lot at stake here. Klusler ran in turn 10, Good exit there, and we've seen plenty of overtakes before as past. You can overtake there as well. It's much better than that slow speed chicane, and that slow speed chicane. We've seen some good battles there back in 2012, and a few people go side by side. I remember Grosjean, Kubica, and I think it was Roman Grosjean that went side by side in 2019, ended up in the contact. Here comes Kluser now towards the final corner, using overtake available to him as he crossed the line. The first lap time is going to be a 24.2 as the Ferrari gets out of shape in the background, goes first with a 23.4. Here comes his teammate, goes P2. It's a Ferrari 1-2 provisionally, but here comes Atlas Coppo, goes P3. The RB in the background is next across the line. Sonic Hawk goes into P2, only a few hundreds slower than Zenem in first place. The Kick Sauber is right behind. Ginger Tiger about to cross the line. He goes into P5 on the medium compound tyres there, so just using a set of mediums there to try and just explore the track around here. Just save a set of soft compound tyres later on in the Grand Prix as well. We've got OWR Ronnie coming around the final corner. There he is in the Mercedes, cross the line now, goes up into P6 with a 24.0.
I was just going to say, I'm just on board here with Caspino here as he comes round to the final corner. He's currently coming out and he's going to put flat to the floor as he goes into fastest with a 123.2 for the Alpine driver. Absolute stunning lap. He just kept it clean and made sure he just hit all of the apexes on this track itself. And that was an absolute stunning lap from the Alpine driver there.
Great lap time from Caspino, especially for Alpine, because Smoke is not here tonight, and I bet the championship contenders of Bur-Meister and Mansell are happy about that one. Oliver in 15th place is going on a lap time. He commentated here yesterday. He's going towards the end of the first sector as we head down towards turn 5, taking a late apex there, using the curb on the outside, and guess what? There's his teammate right in front of him to give him a tow. So great orchestrated, great teamwork, and a good slipstream all the way down the straight. You miss the lane through here as we head down towards turn 7, braking hard at the 100-meter board, scraping off all the speed, kissing the apex there, switching from left to right, get back on throttle as soon as the car is straightened up. DRS again down the straight as we head down towards turn 9, and let's see how he takes it. Taking a shortcut through here to minimise the distance as we head down towards turn 9, swooping through, breaking the 50-meter board, carry the speed through 5th gear there. Just want to carry the speed here without losing the back end, and that was so close there. Track limits could have cost him, but luckily not to be so as he makes his way down towards the tricky breaker zones. This can be really difficult, these corners, because a lot of tire temperature, a lot of energy will be used here as well. It's so easy to lose back in the car because the tyres get so hot at the stage of the Grand Prix. We make our way now towards the fast 2 corners. Here we are on the final corner. Track limits will catch you out. Back in the car, wants to complain. Oliver goes second with a 23.2 or 23.3, sorry, and he's currently sat in second place.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm just on board with the championship leader himself, Mansell, as he comes up into the final sector now. Is he's going to go underneath this nice little plaza we have here, coming up into the final couple of corners, keeping it really nice, making sure he doesn't disobey the track limits here. Coming up towards the final corner as he comes up past that pit lane marker, braking hard, keeping the speed, coming flying out of that final corner. And he moves into P3 with a 123.3, so just behind Oliver there at this point of time. Hopefully when he does the second run he can get himself ahead of that Williams of Oliver.
Lord Brad, the top G in the Mercedes, is on a flying lap. Every time he's raced, he's always been competitive, has the Mercedes driver. Picked up a win at the USA Grand Prix, puts up a few podiums now and then, especially in Austria as well. He's done a fantastic job ever since he's joined in Division 2. Has also been a force to reckon with. It's a 52.7 in that middle sector there for Lord Brad, the top G, as he swoops around turn now. What a lovely corner now, as it used to be a slow speed chicane. I think I remember back in 2012 where Sergio Perez, Mark Webber, and Pastor Maldonado made contact there, and it cost all of them all their races too. Here he is then swooping around. Those corners have been modified for better racing and also to reduce the dirty air as well around the slow speed corners. Deployment has been used, so Brad G has been greedy with his ERS. Here he is across the line. It's going to be pole with a 23.0, and so despite running out of ERS, he still had the pace to put his Mercedes on pole. Keith goes up to P7 with a 23.5. Look how tight it is in the midfield there.
Yeah, just watching the Haas of Yarnham here. He's just had that toe down that lap there, long straight from his teammate of Martin there. as he's coming up towards that second DRS zone here. He's using his ERS as and when he can, as he comes braking hard down into this corner here, going underneath the DHL bridge itself as he comes into what's my favourite section of the track itself. He has got the sailboat in front of him, however he does move out of his way, so we will get a little bit of slipstream from there. As he does go underneath this bridge as well, coming up into this final sector here, which I do like again, coming up towards that final corner now. As he comes up past the pit lane entry, coming round the final corner, he's going to put flat foot to the floor, as he did make a little bit of a mistake there, but it doesn't cost him that much time, and he goes into P3 ahead of Oliver.
So Mansell's been demoted down to P5, so Oliver P4, Mansell P5, and Bur-Meister, crucially for him, is P10. Does Bur-Meister need a tow off the back of his teammate? The answer is yes. There is half qualifying's gone, 9 minutes left to go in this session. Ginger Tiger is out there, the soft compound tyres. He's got some decent pace on his day. He's currently 500 up in the first sector, and the last race of the season as well. The last qualifying session was a mega because Hulkenberg took provisional pole, then it was Piastri, then it was Lando Norris with McLaren 1-2. I think Carlos Sainz moved up into P3 in the end with Hulkenberg in fourth, but unfortunately picked up a three-place grid penalty for blocking under the tunnel. Now I'm a bit annoyed with that one because I don't know what he did wrong in the tunnel. Apparently he overtook, but at the same time, hasn't Verstappen, hasn't Perez, hasn't other people overtook in the pit lane before? I don't understand the rules these days of Formula 1, but it's just a bunch of BS, really. But here comes Ginger Tiger now, coming towards the end of the middle sector. He's currently 10th up. I expect more from Ginger Tiger because his best lap is on the medium compound tyres, and he's on the soft compound tyres right now, so not really improved there. But at the same time, though, the middle sector is just basically a straight and a heavy braking zone, so more time to be found in the last sector. Ginger Tiger a bit wobbly out of turn 16 there as he makes his way toward. Oh, there's a Haas in the way as Ginger Tiger has messed up his lap and he's gone for a spin. Who was the Haas? Was that Johan?
That was naughty. I think it was. Yeah, it was. He's just come into the pit lane ahead of the Ginger Tiger, and that was. That was really naughty and poor timing there. He obviously didn't have a look on his track map to see if there was any cars come flying around behind him. So I'm guessing there's going to be something that the stewards are going to have to say there.
Look at this. Oliver is right in front. But will he cut the chicane and give his team another tow down the straight? No, he won't. He backs off. So he pulls the left-hand side. Not really much of a tow there for Oliver, but still every little helps as he feathers the throttle out of turn 7 then with the DRS wide open, using a bit of battery to power his way down the straight before we end towards the middle sector. As you see his middle sector right now, he's currently a 10th up in the middle sector is Bur-Meister, carrying the speed through 5th gear, back at the power as soon as the car straightened up. And as we head down towards the likes of turn 12, turn 12 can be difficult because you arrive and drive and he locks up at the same time, but still makes the corner as he makes his way now, threading the needle through here as you want to just carry the speed, making sure the back end of the car doesn't step away from you in turn 13 and 14. 15, easy flat as we head down towards the final corner, swooping in, hit the apex on the inside, hoping that the rear tyres are stable as we cross the line. It's a 23.2 and he moves himself into P4. Much better lap time there for Bur-Meister, and Johan says he didn't think he was on a lap, so that's Johan's big mistake. Mansell in the first sector is a 10th down, so will he back off or will he continue? He might have to back off here because I don't think he'll find the time in the middle or last sector, but it looks like he's still pushing in the Aston Martin. Seeing him, he's up into P3, so great job from him in the Ferrari. He gave his teammate a tow as Alas Copo goes towards pole, and it's not his first pole of the season either. He took pole back at the Chinese Grand Prix, and the Red Bull driver with a 22.9, fantastic indeed. But where is Owen Mansell? Owen Mansell is 2/10 down. He's still pushing, by the way, on those medium compound tyres, soft compound tyres.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's been down the first two sectors, and I'm surprised he's not backed off. He's still in the hot lap for his ERS. So whether he's going to pull into the pits and try again, in which he does. So he's going to put on a new soft set of soft compound tyres and go again, because I think there were a used set of tyres on that one. So I'm guessing he's just going to try and figure out where he can go faster and make it count as and when he can when he puts on the new set of tyres.
Have a look at Oliver, 4/10 up in that middle sector. Can he keep it nice and tidy? as he applied the throttle, the car was wandering away. Here he is. Oh, he was so close to Charlie Mansell on the exit of 15. Here he is across the line. Is this going to be pole? No, it's not. It's a 23.0, and he lost a bit of time in that final sector there. A bit squirrely in some places, but nevertheless, a great lap time there. So a headache for Mansell. Both Williams is ahead, but Mansell, there's 3 cars. There's 2 cars in between himself and Bur-Meister in P6. He's still got plenty of time. Mindful Wasp in the other Aston Martin 13th. Owen Mansell, I know these two haven't worked well in harmony, but they have done in the last few races, especially in Austria, where Mindful Wasp defended against Smoke and allowed Mansell to win the Grand Prix. But Mindful Wasp really needs to be up there to support his teammate in the final race as he heads back in the pit lane. There is 4 minutes left to go in the session. Martin is on a lap time there. Energy Dan in P18. The Sauber of Casti in 19th place, so not really the job he wants. And let's talk about Saubers. Both Saubers were quite strong in the first few races of the season, but unfortunately they just went downhill. Casti hasn't really recovered after making a few mistakes and losing his own play every time he's had the chance to try and get the win. It's just been a shame for Casti there, because I don't think he's got 1 win this season. He's been so close, but at the same time just a bit far away. So in the next season for Casti, I really hope things go his way. He's got 3 podiums so far, just outside the top 10. Sonic Hawk is currently in P10 in the RB. Smoke is in P9 with 259.5 points, and we'll see how the midfield plans out, because there's a massive scrap there, only a few points separating other people too. But here we are then. Junior Tiger is about to start flying up on the soft compound tyres. Not still down at P16, surprisingly. He can't really improve despite his best lap being on the medium compound tyres then. So here he is, Ginger Tiger. He's currently got 84 points this season, no podiums yet, but he's been very consistent in the last few races. His best result came at the Austrian Grand Prix when he scored inside the top 5. So here we are then. Smoke says his points are irrelevant. Hello, Wesley. Nice to see you here. And Wesley, your points are not relevant, mate. I think every single one's points are relevant. Keith, what a blistering lap time! It goes up to P4, but unfortunately his Red Bull rivals of Atlas Copo is still there in P1. Klusler's down in P12. Adams is P17 then. So at least one of each team is up there inside the top 4. Ginger Tiger out of turn 7. Let's see, with the DRS enabled. Well, let's see what Ginger Tiger does. The last week's race winner, by the way, was Smoke at the Las Vegas at the Qatar Grand Prix. And yet again, Ginger Tiger is not really improving on his lap. The medium compound tyres was a good lap, but unfortunately, you just can't see him to improve on the soft compound tyres.
No, he can't, and I can see his fuel light flashing there on his board, so I don't know whether this is going to be his last flying lap, because otherwise he will run out of fuel on his in lap. He is still pushing, I think, from the looks of this. He's going to come up towards the final corner. He's obviously underfueled his car a lot. He's going to come out flying, and he's going to come into P13 with 123.6. So he's moved up a couple of spaces, but I don't know whether he'll be happy with that lap. I'm not too sure. Obviously his medium tyres were a good lap for him, so he's obviously just experimenting for the last race of the season, I believe.
Here is Casti. Herman is in the chat supporting Casper Young and Caspino, sorry. Oh, Casti gets a massive snap out of turn 7, and Caspino has some very good pace. He's only made 1 appearance so far in SFR. That was back in Las Vegas, but Caspino has got some great pace in the Alpine. I did mention him in the Discord chat as well, I think in Las Vegas, so yeah, he's definitely got some good pace. Caspino is very clean, and it's nice to have him here. Here comes Casti now, making his way down towards turn number 12. Let's see how he takes it down through here. It can be very difficult. It's so easy to lock the rear brakes up. It's so easy to just run out wide through there, especially when the tyres are so hot. And here he is there, a massive oversteer out of turn 14, where famously and Nicholas Latifi crashed and it caused that safety car. Multiple opinions about that one. Here comes Casti slide at the final corner as he crosses the line, stays or goes up into P18 as Energy Dan is now in last place. But critical now. Qualifying is almost ended. Every single driver is out on the circuit, including Oliver, and we'll see who is going to take pole around here. Lord Brad, the top G, goes quickest, and Yohum goes into P2. Look at the gap between first and third. Only 400 separated first and third there. Incredible lap time indeed. Top G is on pole. Keith hasn't validated. Caspino's going down through the first sector, a 10th up. Mansell goes into P6. Decent there, just ahead of Bur-Meister, but Bur-Meister is on a lap time. Here he is. Bur-Meister is down in the first sector, coming towards the middle. Is he up? No, he's down. It's been a very bad lap so far for Bur-Meister, but critically, there's one more driver in front of him in Oliver. Oliver's up into P4, so he could be the Minister of Defence there for Owen Mansell, or for Bur-Meister, sorry, but he's really struggling here, is Bur-Meister. I don't think he'll improve. Where is Oliver so far? Oliver is headed down towards turn 14, so he's the lead Williams, is Oliver, and he's got a massive part to play as well in the championship, but for his sake, I really hope he keeps it clean and doesn't drive too erratically against Mansell, as Propelli is in the chart. I see him goes quickest. It's a 22.8 from the Ferrari driver. Here comes Oliver now. Towards the line, it's P5 only for him. And he stays where he is. No improvement for him. Anybody else out there? Klusler is up into P8. In Mills, he has good qualifying, but 2 tenths down in the middle sector. Adams in P12. And Caspino puts himself into P2. Great lap time there for the Alpine driver at 22.9. And it's Zedam the one, the Norwegian driver, on pole for the second time this season. Fantastic result indeed. A fantastic qualified elsewhere. Mindful Wasp stays in P17, but he's improving in the middle sector. Here he is there, Mindful Wasp. What can he do? Can he get himself inside the top 10 as he crosses the line now? Mindful Wasp up into P7 and out qualifies Mansell. Very good job indeed there for Mindful Wasp, but crucially, he's behind Oliver. This is going to be so intense.
Absolutely, Oliver's going to be trying to make his Williams as wide as he can on these opening laps to try and hold up Mansell and Mindful Wasp, to allow Bur-Meister to come flying up behind him and hopefully get ahead. As I was trying to do earlier, whilst we was sort of in the intermission of whilst you had your little break, I was trying to work out all the different ways in which Mansell or Bur-Meister could win the championship. And I worked it out, if Bur-Meister wins, Mansell comes 5th, they'll be equal on points with 360 points each. So in other words, Bur-Meister needs to win with the fastest lap and Mansell to be in 5th for Bur-Meister to win the championship. From what I've worked out. And any other way, Mansell just needs to finish ahead of Bur-Meister to win that championship. So it's going to be a close one. Both teams have got their co-wingmen as such ahead of them. So there could be all hell let loose, but I'm hoping for a clean race and for the race to come into even drivers' hands.
There it is, Zedam on pole for the second time this season. And Propelli, welcome mate, you're champion of SFR for Division 3. Great season, I hope to see you in Div 2. Caspino P2, great result for the LP driver. His second appearance this year, SFR, sorry. Lord by the top G in P3 ahead of Yarholm, great qualifying. That's Copo P5, Oliver, Mindful Wasp, Keith, Mansell, Klusler, Bur-Meister, Mills, Adams, Martin, Sonic Hawk, Ronnie, Junior Tiger, Cassidy, Energy Dan will start in 19th place. 19 drivers on the grid, and this is going to be electrifying indeed here in Abu Dhabi. A showdown all the way, and I can't wait to see what happens here, because you've got the two wingmen, like you said, of Mindful Wasp and Oliver started together. Owen Mansell starts ahead of Bur-Meister. What is Mindful Wasp going to do? Is he going to overtake Oliver in the early stages, or is he going to think about letting Mansell go and defend from Bur-Meister? What is the best strategy for him to do? If he can try and get Oliver in the early stages, great. Then Mansell will try and pounce on him. But if he can't overtake Oliver, maybe think about letting Mansell go and get past Bur-Meister. So what's Bur-Meister going to do? A lot on his hands tonight for Bur-Meister, unfortunately, down there in P11. At least his teammate is in P6, and he's got two Aston Martins to defend from. A lot of work for both Aston Martins here tonight. It's going to be incredible to see how it's going to go. Smoke says Wasp will just race. Fair enough, but we did see the Austrian Grand Prix, Wesley, that he did help Mansell a lot. So he gave him the victory after he defended from you, Smoke, at the Austrian Grand Prix, and he spun you out to a turn 1. But yeah, Smoke, it's a shame that not racing here tonight. You did a fantastic job here in SFR this season. You scored a podium back in Saudi Arabia in Division 1. Then you had about 3 wins in a row, and you've really shown some fantastic pace as well. So pleasure to have you. And you're currently P9 in the championship. That was Calvin. Sorry about that. I get confused. But who's that? What is
going on there? That was Mansell Wasp.
Is he gone rogue?
I think he has. He's made everyone retire. Well, most people retire.
Is this a lobby restart? Because there's no way Mansell Wasp has just gone rogue like that. So I think it's a lobby restart. Thank God for that, because I would have liked...
Yeah. I was going to say, yeah, I think it is lobby restart. Makes sense.
Yeah, because somebody read it up. So, yeah, I think we'll have to leave the session and get going once again.
Yeah, just let us know, because I haven't got access to the chat at this moment in time.
Looks like somebody forgot the rule of readying up, and that was Mansell Wasp.
Uh-oh. It's the final race of the season, and they're already... Oh, dear.
Things are already getting crazy and out of hand.
They ain't even gone lights out yet, boys. Come on, leave some for the race.
What's been your favourite Abu Dhabi Grand Prix so far in F1?
I quite liked where it was a safety car from where Latifi spun in 2021, I think it was. And I just loved it. It was that last lap dash between Hamilton and Verstappen. Although the FIA may have tweaked things a little bit in Red Bull's favour, it was a good race, don't get me wrong. And Perez played one hell of a co-wingman there for Verstappen in that race. And unfortunately he just didn't play into Hamilton's hands in that one. However, whatever's happened to Perez recently, I have not a clue. His form's just dropped off a hell of a lot, and it'd be a shame to see him go if he does go, but it'd be intriguing to see who goes there.
My favourite F1 race in Abu Dhabi was the 2016 Grand Prix, and me being a Rosberg fan at the time, not liking Hamilton, I do respect him now. And my favourite driver of all time is Sebastian Vettel, as a lot of people do know. But ever since he left, I became a neutral fan, so I don't really support anybody. I just became neutral and fair. I do like Hamilton now after all these years, but in 2016, when I was about 13 years old, I was supporting Nico Rosberg, and I was desperate for him to win. 3 years in a row, when Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg had their scrap, I was so desperate for Nico Rosberg to win. I did get upset in 2014 and 2015 when Hamilton won his second and third championship. But as I got older, got more mature, and I'll invite you to the session right now before I continue my story.
Wait. I remember that race itself. I remember Hamilton trying to slow up so that he could gain more positions, or for Rosberg to lose positions to some other drivers. I do remember that race. That was one of my favourite races as well, apart from the 2021.
I was so nervous. I didn't watch it at home. I watched it at my mate's house, and they're not even an F1 fan, but they knew I loved F1 at the time, so they let me watch it. And when Nico Rosberg won, I was jumping up and down in tears, and I was so happy. And when he announced his retirement a few days later, I was upset as well, because I was hoping that 2017 they would go for another championship battle between Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg. But I've always questioned if, let's say Hamilton and Rosberg did stay, or if Rosberg did stay, 2017 Ferrari were competitive. So I would love to see Hamilton versus Rosberg versus Vettel and Raikkonen at the same time. But obviously Bottas filled in for Mercedes then. He came from Williams 2016 to Mercedes and did a great job. I think he got 10 wins, 67 podiums in for Mercedes as well. Not just for Mercedes, but altogether in his F1 career. Because in Williams, let's not forget, Valtteri Bottas was an absolute monster. in Williams. He did a fantastic job scoring podiums as well. He really re-energized and rebuilt the team as well, because 2013 was a dismal season. Only 5 points for Williams, 5 points, 4 points for Bottas, 1 point for Maldonado. But ever since the hybrid era came in, Williams turned things around. They finished P3 in the Constructors in 14 and 15, and I think they scored about 1 podium in 2016 in Canada without Bottas. But after that, it just went downhill, and it's still gone downhill as well, because Williams haven't really been that competitive. Or they've got a few points this season, but at the same time, Williams have got good drivers, Carlos Sainz and Alex Albon, but it's just a shame about their financial backing and financial crisis with the crash they've had this season. 16 crashes this season, I think.
Yeah, something like that. It was a shame. Yeah, Colapinto, don't get me wrong, he was a great driver when he debuted in Azerbaijan, I think it was. He scored Monza. He scored points, I believe. And yeah, no, really great driver. They have some amazing drivers. That it's just a shame that they can't put a package together for that car. For them to be up there, unfortunately.
Yeah, Williams, we know he used to be great back in the 80s and 90s with all their championship and success, especially with Adrian Newey as well. But these days, it's just all about that financial backing. They don't have the money, the sponsorship either, or the materials, unfortunately. But hopefully, the new regulations in 2026, they're up there. They've got 2 strong drivers, Alex Albon and Carlos Sainz. Now, Carlos Sainz, I do feel sorry for him, because he deserves to be in Ferrari still, but it's all about business at the end of the day. Nothing personal, but Carlos Sainz, he deserves to be in Ferrari, and he's done a fantastic job for them so far. I think he was reaching the peak, proper peak of his career this season in 2024. He's done a fantastic job. We always knew Carlos Sainz back in 2015 was a mega driver, but unfortunately that's the way things go in F1 sometimes, and at least you still got to see in F1 for Williams, but obviously nobody really wants to go for Williams. So I really hope Williams build a good car for Carlos Sainz and Alex Albon.
Absolutely. Yeah, you'll just have to bear with me. I'm just going to grab a couple of bits for the race to get some nibbles for the dramatic racing which is about to happen. So I'll be back in a couple of minutes before it starts.
Everybody in the chat, who is going to win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix and who is going to win the championship? The odds are at stake here for Owen Mansell. He's most likely to win, especially with his point advantage and his qualified position as well. He'll be happy. Owen Mansell's main target tonight is Bur-Meister. He's not going to go for the win or the podium, unless, of course, he gets it. But the wise thing to do is to look what Bur-Meister's doing and just stick with him. Just keep his DRS and make sure you stay with him the whole race. You don't want to be really putting yourself under much pressure trying to go for the win or the podium. It's all about the championship at the end of the day, scoring the most points. So Bur-Meister, I think Bur-Meister is just going to try and go for the best, really. He knows he's at a disadvantage in the championship. I think he's just going to go for the win or the podium. There's not really much pressure on Bur-Meister because Owen Mansell is his to lose, essentially. But the most famous Abu Dhabi race, or the most famous Abu Dhabi races, of course, was back in 2010 when Sebastian Vettel became a world champion for Red Bull, and what a legend he has become in the sport as well. 2014 is when Lewis Hamilton won his second championship for Mercedes, or first championship for Mercedes, but second in his career. And 2016 is when Nico Rosberg won his first world championship. Then, of course, in 2021, that's when Max Verstappen became a world champion as well. Oliver Smith says, "Thanks, my dear." No worries, mate. I'm always here. Oh, wait, you're not even talking to me. I thought you were talking to me. I didn't even read the previous comment, but let's have a look to see what the previous comment is. Nikki says, "Go on, Oliver, my love." Nikki is supporting her man, and she'll be watching to see how he does. He's done a great job so far in Division 2, picked up a few podiums ever since he joined this division. What a great race in Japan as well, almost picked up that win, but Smoke just beat him. And great sportsmanship for both of them because it's so easy to force each other off the track, especially in high pressure situations as well. That's my fiance for you. Congratulations, Oliver and Nikki. Unfortunately, I haven't had a girlfriend for a long time, so I'm still single. As the grid is getting sorted, the nerves are calming down for the time being. Everything's reset, but importantly, every single driver needs to remember their setup after a lobby restart. A few people get caught out as well. I'm a commentator for Division 1 and Division 2. And I want to say, this is the last race of the season for Division 2. Thank you so much for having me and being part of this excellent league. This league has grown because when I looked back at the results in Season 13, it was like on a downer. But the league has really revived itself since Season 14 onwards, and I've been an absolute pleasure to be a part of this journey. Thank you so much for having me. It's going to be emotional when this race ends, but there will be a champion that'll come on top of it as well at the end of the Grand Prix. Thank you for all your comments. Thank you for the support. You've all been amazing to me, and thank you so much for turning up for every single race. We've had almost 4 grids every race, especially in Division 3, 2 and 1 combined, so I really do appreciate it for all your hard work and commitment. So thank you so much. I came back to SFR after a long streak away. Indigo, hello Andre. Haven't heard that name for a long time, Indigo. Not many people call me Indigo these days.
Indigo. That's a good name, that is.
Yeah, quite weirdly I chose it. Michael Mitchell. Thank you, Michael. I do try and read every single comment out as well. So just if I don't read your comment out, nothing personal, because obviously I've got a lot to focus on. Division 2 and Division 1. And yeah, I thank you so much for the SFR admins for bringing me back as well, because I was here in Season 5 in 2019 as a driver, and God, it was so difficult being a driver back then. It's Mr. Wiggles, by the way. Hello, Mr. Wiggles. Congratulations on your win in Las Vegas and in Abu Dhabi as well. You did a fantastic job, mate. And it's a shame about the championship. At the same time, you've always got next season to come back to. So well done, mate. And try and keep improving, keep pushing, and never give up. I might have to have a word with Bur-Meister as well, because I know Bur-Meister is struggling, so I might have to give him some advice as well, because I don't want him to quit. But another lobby restart, and we get going to session once again. It's a bit of a break, a bit of a pause to just talk about things and just digest what's happened. And Simo, you've been in the league for quite a long time. I remember seeing your name in Season 8 and Season 9. I know it's had a bit of a downer in the past history, but we've really come back after that.
Yeah, absolutely. I joined when Mansell first started as well. And then at that point I was sort of towards the end of my apprenticeship with Ferrari. So I sort of wanted to focus more on my endpoint assessment and my exam-based bits for that. So I come away from SFR, and then I was in Mansell Racing. And yeah, and at that point, that's when I first wanted to come back, and I'll come back this season. So, and it's been a nice season to come back, because it's been the first female lineup in SFR history, I think it is, with me and Ellie racing in the Ferrari. And we're hoping to continue to be teammates next season, and hopefully go for the McLaren, because we absolutely hate the Ferrari.
I love the McLaren and I love the Ferrari. I like every single car really in this game except Kick Sauber, but Haas, I always tend to be the Haas every time I join a league race. I don't know why. So Haas is my main car for some reason, but I got used to it. But I arrived here in Season 5, and the grid was just ultra competitive. You had a lot of people in VRT as well. You had a lot of people from different esports teams like LR, VRT, and whatever they were called back then. There was a lot of name changes as well. So, yeah, it was very competitive. And I was in GP1, and me and Laserlord, back in 2019, spent most of the time just playing second fiddle for 19th and 20th at the back of the grid. But there was a time where I really showed myself against those drivers, and I put myself into third place in the British GP. I started 18th, 17th, and I finished in P3. It's on the YouTube channel, on my YouTube channel. I had SFR from like 3-4 years ago. It's back in April 2020 is when I scored my podium around here. So 4 years ago is when I scored my first podium here in SFR. I got introduced back in SFR at the late end of 2023 and started commentating for season 14. Was very new. Every single driver I knew from the past completely disappeared. We've had a lot of newcomers. Laser, the OG, has been around. I didn't really know anybody else, but you guys have made me feel really comfortable. You've opened me back. Not opened me back. You've opened me. Oh, let me reword it right. You've welcomed me with open arms, and I appreciate every single one of you, and you made me feel comfortable and at home in this league, so I appreciate every single one of you. When I first joined SFR, I was a bit nervous, but my confidence has grown, and talking to the majority of you people as well has been amazing. I've got to know quite a lot of you in the past as well, and every single one of you have really helped up and brought SFR back to light after its down stages. So thank you very much for all your support, commitment and hard work that goes into it.
Just speaking to Wiggles in the chat, he said I can't have the McLaren, so he said I'm having the kick. So, which I don't mind. I was going to say the Kicks out was quite nice car to have. So, it's more sort of Ellie that complain, why didn't we have the McLaren for this season? I was like, okay.
And also, Ellie has a brother called Ninja or Levetto, and he's raced a few times as well back in SFR last season. He was a quick drive, a bit inconsistent at the time, but I really hope that Ninja makes a return too, because he's a mega driver himself. And Formula 2 as well, that's had a championship with Gabriel Bortoletto and Isaac Hadjar. For those who don't know, Isaac Hadjar used to race in SFR, believe it or not. It's about season 5, 6, and 7, I can't remember, but he used to league race, did Isaac Hadjar. And I used to league race against him as well. And for him to be in Formula 2, he missed out on the championship because Gabriel Bortoletto did a fantastic job for the whole season. No mistakes. Yes, he did miss on a win against Joshua Dirksen. 19 different winners in F2, by the way. Can you believe it? Nearly, almost all the grid. I don't know how many reserves there have been this season, but there's been plenty of switches with Dino Beganovic and Paul Laren. Mansell being in F2 now. Not Owen Mansell either. but yeah, what a fantastic season been for Formula 2, because Paul Aaron, Isaac Hadjar and Gabriel Bortoletto were all in that scrap for P1. Paul Aaron a bit too far away, and I think in the first lap, Miney and Isaac Hadjar made contact. Pepe Martin won his first race in Formula 2 this season. That became an 18th different winner. Gabriel Bortoletto did enough to finish in P2 in both races. And Richard Forshaw, who finished in P3. Now, Richard Forshaw has been in Formula 2 for such a long time. I swear that he's been in Formula 2 since 2018-19. If you know who that is.
I think so. No. I'm going to say no, because I'm not too sure.
Yeah, but I've seen his name for a very long time. And it's usually Formula 2 graduated to Formula 1, but he's been there for a very long time. New people are coming on the scene. Paul Laren is the new Alpine reserve driver, and it's his first F1 season finishing in P3, or F2 season finishing in P3. So great from the Estonian driver. Of course, we had an upcoming Estonian driver before, of Yuri Vips, but we all know what happened to Yuri Vips when he was on stream on COD, and he said a very inappropriate word. And Liam Lawson was there too, if you remember what happened there. Obviously, I'm not going to repeat it.
No. Just looking at the tyre allocation, everybody apart from 3 drivers are on the medium tyre. So they're obviously wanting to go all out on these first couple of laps and do what they can to get ahead before the pit stop strategy comes into place.
Interesting, only 3 drivers have gone for the hard compound tyres. Birds were all set. Seeing him arrive to the grid very quickly as he bolted his way around. Caspino might find himself in trouble on the hard compound tyres with people in the mediums around him. But the main people to watch out for in this race is Oliver, Mindful Wasp, Mansell and Bur-Meister fighting for the championship. Here we go for the final time in Division 2 for SFR. 5 lights and we are underway for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. A great start there for Zidane. The Haas is in the middle. He takes on both of them. He goes up into second place as Joachim. Going wide at turn 1 is Lord by the top G. Caspino has been shuffled into P4. Alas Copo now is side by side. Keith is ahead of Klusler as we go wheel to wheel there. Where is Mansell? Mansell is behind Bur-Meister. An absolute shocking start there. Turn 5, Alex Copo is defending for Oliver. Mindful Wasp is still behind him as we head out of turn 5 with the slipstream as we power on. Look at Oliver blasting his way past Alex Copo as we head down towards the heavy braking zone, using the battery as well as we head down now. Who's going to be letting the brakes? Oliver, can he take 2 for 1? He has the confidence go up the inside, almost wheel to wheel with the RP driver, but Oliver backs out of it, and Alex Copo is making his way back through as well. Oliver did not get a good exit and he's left exposed towards Alex Copo now for the battle of the lead. Joachim versus Zidane, and Joachim puts himself into P1. He won the Las Vegas Grand Prix, going for his second win of the season. Alex Copo is ahead of Oliver as he round turn 9 all the way around the outside, goes off the track, and there's still wheel to wheel there as we head down towards the slow speed corner of turn 11. Oliver wins up into P5.
Absolutely, just watching Mansell here now. He's still got Bur-Meister in his sight. He's got 2 cars in front of him. In between them, he's got Emil's and Keith's. Mansell's all over the back of the Ferrari. He's going to try and make a move on the main straight, I'm going to guess. However, he might be waiting until he comes out of this complex zone and go for the hard braking into the hairpin section by the stadium.
Mansell, he has to be very patient. He can't afford to make any crazy moves. Bur-Meister's right there in front of us as we head down towards turn 5. Mansell might make a move as we head down towards the braking zone. He's up the inside. Can he make it stick? He will. He makes the corner, but can he make it unscathed? Emil's is still there on the outside. Yes, he can. Mindful Wasp is ahead of Alex Copo. DRS is enabled. Zidane is back ahead of Joachim. These two who are really good in qualifying but suffer a bit of race pace. But Joachim has sorted that out in the background. That's Lord Brad, the top G. Outbreaking himself, goes off the track, bounces over the curb, and he's lost about 4 places. He's been shuffled down into P6. I have no idea what happened to him. But Joachim is back ahead of Zidane. Plenty of scraps going on here in Abu Dhabi. Like Caspino is back into 3rd place now. The hardcore power ties. Bur-Meister is ahead of Klusler as he puts himself into P. Or is he? Because here comes Klusler up the inside into turn 9. They both go wheel to wheel. The 2 Dutchmen wheel to wheel as Bur-Meister wins out and he puts himself into P8. Where's Mansell? Into P11 behind Keith.
Absolutely. I'm just watching Keith's is watching the 2 2 drivers in front of him as Sonic Hook gets a 3-second time penalty there, which he didn't want for the final race of the season. However, Joachim goes round with the fastest lap, goes down to Mindful Wasp. So Mindful Wasp, he is on a charge. He's making sure that Oliver does not get that far in front of him. And when Bur-Meister can catch up to him, he's going to try and make sure that he can try and be that Perez for Mansell. However, there's a yellow flag. So I think that might be someone, as Mindful Wasp is all over the back of Oliver now. He's going to have that DRS coming out of that hairpin. He gets a really nice drive. Oliver struggling. He's still pulling that way a little bit slightly from Mindful Wasp, as Mindful Wasp is gaining, but not enough as to what he wants to, as it comes into the hard braking now, into the little chicane. Can he get the drive out of the chicane to get up all the way over the back of him onto that DRS? Oliver just gets that little bit better of a pull as I come now through from the second DRS train. Oliver doing a little tiny bit of weaving. However, what is Mindful Wasp going to do here? Is he going to be patient? Is he going to take his time? We're not 100% sure, as he still sticks behind him.
So there was a yellow flag out of turn 1. That was Keith into turn 2, who made a big mistake. Mansell got through, and crucially Mansell is right behind Bur-Meister. So he's got Bur-Meister right in his sights. And who's that going wheel to wheel? That's Oliver versus Mindful Wasp. Oh, that's so close, but Mindful Wasp is up into P4 and ahead of the Williams driver. They broke the DRS 4th and 5th there, going side by side. I'm not quite sure if Oliver made a mistake out of turn 14, but however, he's now been shuffled backwards into P5 under massive pressure from top G. The top 2 are Joachim, and Zidane is still scrubbing away. Zidane is still looking for his first win of the season, remember, after having multiple attempts, but kept spinning out, and he's got his first podium too. Got his one and only podium here. But can he keep it all together? Can he finally now keep it nice and consistent, keep it nice and smooth, keep it nice and tidy? And he's right there back at your home too. So the top two, they keep trading DRS, and this is good for those two, keeping trading DRS there to keep first and second. A bit of contact there too between those two, but Zeno now is back in first place. Top G right behind Oliver as we head down towards the heavy breaker zone at turn 7, as we all remain in formation so far. Mansell right there back at Bur-Meister 2. Ginger Tiger is ahead of Energy down. We saw plenty of yellow flags down there as Johan re-overtakes Zeno. I love that DRS sequence as well because you can re-overtake your rivals too. And Caspino in the Alpine is right at the back of these two as well. Bur-Meister is ahead of Copo, puts himself into P7 ahead of the Red Bull driver. So one car in between himself and Mansell.
I was going to say, I don't know whether Oliver's got a bit of damage, because when we was watching him come out of the first corner, his car was just snaking that little bit, so whether he's struggling with the turning, he's losing that bit of time towards Mindful Wasp in front of him, but he's lucky enough to be able to keep it within DRS range. However, he just seems to be struggling that little bit onto the straights now. That doesn't give him DRS. Does he come through this section all okay here? He does, whereas a little bit of understeer, or I can't figure it out this time. A little bit of tail end happy there from his car, so I'm not 100% sure whether he's got a little bit of damage. I'm not too sure on that one.
We've had 13 different... Oh, it didn't backfire. That's a McLaren going out wide. That's Keith, who lost traction at the exit of turn 5. And once again, the leaders are in a battle. That's Zeno versus Johan. Zeno's going to be very careful now because Caspino is right behind, showing some fantastic pace on the hard compound tyres. Him being in the DRS train at the early stage and attacking the front runners could pay dividends towards the end because he'll be quicker on the mini compound tyres once these guys swap over to the hards when they make the pit stop early doors in this race too. So Caspino sitting pretty in P3 and having the upper hand on the guys, rest of the guys as well. We could have a 14th different winner in this Grand Prix. It's either Zeno, Casper, or Michael Wasp, or Oliver, or anybody else. But Johan's already won the Grand Prix so far. Mansell is right behind Alice Copo as we head down towards turn 12, heading towards this double left-hander of turn 30 to turn 40. Can be so difficult. You can be very careful when you apply the throttle because if you apply the throttle too early, you lose back in the car and end up spinning there, as we've seen plenty of people do before. As we head down towards the final corner at turn 16 we go, as we head onto the main straight. No DRS on this straight, remember, because it's not long enough as we head down towards the first corner. This first corner can be very difficult too because Chad Lewis can catch a lot of people out, especially the exit too. But Mansell playing the patient game, not going for any rash moves. He's been very methodical in terms of his overtaking so far. And Top G is right behind Oliver. It looks like he's struggling, like you said, because I don't think he's got any damage. I think he's struggling with the mini compound tyres, maybe overheated just a bit. As you can see, the top 4 breaking the DRS as Johan follows through. Zeno in P2, Casper in P3, ahead of Mindful Wasp. Mindful Wasp is really good for it. Here he is, Mindful Wasp. He hit the back of Caspino there, just changing lines. Oliver and Top G are fighting side by side, contact between those two. Bur-Meister has lost traction. Here comes Atlas Copo. He's up into P7, but no, Bur-Meister gets a lovely launch. The DRS has been smashed as we head onto the second straight now. Caspino's ahead of Zeno as we head towards. Look at this, a massive wheel spin. Look at that. 3 abreast as Bur-Meister is grounding outside of his teammate now. He's up into P6, the side by side on the 2 Williams, and Lord Brother Top G has been demoted into P7. Mansell is now in P8. Crucial, this is big now for Bur-Meister. What's Oliver going to do? I think Oliver is going to really hold these guys up, I think.
I think he is. I think that was his plan, to allow for Bur-Meister to gain as many positions as he can, so then he can allow Bur-Meister to come through. However, this is allowing for Mansell to get all over the back of Top G in P7, so he's going to be having that DRS, and obviously if Oliver's tyres are overheating, then they'll be able to fly past them down onto the DRS, as I think Mansell's going to be trying to set both of them up for a lunge down the inside, possibly into this hairpin. Nearly makes contact with Top G and makes it down to the inside. Can he get the drive to get out of there? He doesn't. Top G just keeps in front of him that little bit. However, they get side by side. Mansell gets the DRS, so he's going to be getting that DRS from Oliver as Oliver moves onto the defensive, as he's going to go back ahead of Bur-Meister. So I'm not 100% sure what's going on here, whether he's going to try and give Bur-Meister the DRS down this next section, in which he does. Is Mansell going to try and follow him?
Here
Mansell
we go.
goes round the outside of Oliver.
Down into turn, here we go, side by side, Oliver versus Mansell. Can Mansell go around the outside? He can! They're side by side. Mansell up into P6, but we head down towards turn 12. Can he take both of them on? Is it going to be a double overtake? No, it's not, as Mansell's in P6. Crucially now, ahead of Waz Williams. This is too intense for me, because we've got a battle for the top 4. We've got a battle between the championship leaders of Bur-Meister, Mansell, Oliver, Top G, and Atlas Copo too. This is very intense now. How is Mansell going to play this guy? He's in between a Williams sandwich there, but his teammate Michael Wasp is looking for his first win of the season. He's in P3, doing a fantastic job so far. Mansell is right behind Bur-Meister too. Michael Wasp, I told you, had glimpse of pace. He's a very interesting driver for me, because sometimes he can do really well and sometimes it's nowhere, but this time in Abu Dhabi he's done a fantastic job so far, fighting along the top 4. But here we go down to turn 5. Martin has spun at turn 15, stopped on track, but he gets going once again. Cassidy is also down there in P19, has also made a mistake too. But here we go. Here comes Caspino for the lead of the Grand Prix. I promise you guys, I'm trying my absolute best to catch up with all these battles. Don't worry, I'm not being biased towards anybody. I know there's a lot of Caspino fans too, so I'm keeping an eye on every single body here. Oh, Bur-Meister spun! Bur-Meister spun! And now Oliver is up into P5. Here comes Mansell now with the DRS. This is big for the championship. Here he is with the DRS, swapping to the right side. And Mansell now is up into P5. Here comes Atlas Copo on Top G. As we head down towards turn 9, Mansell is up into P5. It's Oliver going to try and come back through underneath him. No, he's not. But crucially, Bur-Meister has spun out of turn 7.
Yeah, that is that is such a shame.
Oh, contact! I'm sorry to interrupt, but Caspino has hit the wall at turn 14, and he's also broken his end plate too. He's got a 3-second time penalty, so massive disappointment there for Caspino, and he picks up a 3-second time penalty, I believe, in between 13 and 14, and then broke his wing. And unfortunately, he got a penalty too. Bur-Meister is ahead of Adams, puts himself into P9. Massive shame there for Caspino. Great pace, but a big mistake.
I was going to say, he's been running up there he's been doing really well in qualifying and in the race. He's been on those hard tyres, trying to make sure that he can get them to work for when the mediums start to drop off. It's not over yet for him though. He's got that pit window where he's going to be on the fresher mediums at the end of the race, whereas everyone else is going to be on the hards. As Mindful Wasp and Johan are battling at the front now for first place. Mindful Wasp gets the drive out of the chicane, I think he does. He's going to be under threat though from Johan, as he's going to have that DRS as they come down this flying straight, as he's going to go onto the inside of Mindful Wasp. Mindful Wasp just drop off into P2 as Johan gets himself back ahead into first position.
Oliver and Mansell were super close in turn 9. Oliver lost the rear in the car, defended from Atlas Copo and attacking Mansell. But great squabbling there for Johan, and Mindful Wasp doing a fantastic job. Mindful Wasp is in a place he knows there's a chance to win this Grand Prix. But Caspino, despite the broken end plate, as the Ferrari has seen him dives off into the pit lane to do his one stop. But Caspino, despite a broken end plate, still showing some intense pace. Atlas Copo gets a 3-second time penalty too for multiple warnings, costing the white line as Mansell moves up into 4th place ahead of Oliver. But this is very intense because Mindful Wasp, we know is a driver that has, on his good days, could do. Oh, Mindful Wasp has lost the car at turn 5. He was struggling there as the back of the car stepped out of him. He needs to say DRS of Johan, because if Johan pulls away, these guys, as you can see, are struggling with the medium compound tyres. These mediums are dreadful on this track, any track as well. Once they wear out, it's super difficult to keep them under control. So we're very careful now, but he's back in DRS range of Johan. So Mindful Wasp maybe has to adjust his brake bias towards the front, so that he doesn't lock the rears up. Oliver rides the back of Mansell. Here we go, side by side. He puts himself into P4. I think Mansell is going to play this safe with Oliver because he knows Bur-Meister is in P7. Mansell just needs to watch Bur-Meister, not think about fighting with Oliver too much. Caspino looking for a move, but Mindful Wasp stays in P2.
Absolutely, and here comes Mansell again. He's going to try and go around the outside. Can he make the move? Stick again. He doesn't, as there's a little bit of wheel touch in there, but not enough to make anyone spin or get any damage. He's still going to try and remove onto the outside. He stays behind Oliver on this section. However, he is going to be setting up that move, and it might be a move that is going to make into the near future.
So crucially, Johan pits. I thought Mindful Wasp would go in the pit lane to the undercut. Zeta pits first out of this bunch. I think Zeta with the undercut will get ahead of these guys because the tyres are just too old and wearing off. So in the pit lane comes Bur-Meister, so that could be very crucial as well because Mansell has stayed out there fighting with Oliver too. So that could be a huge undercut for Bur-Meister, who's just pitted on the hard compound tyres. The top two have stayed out. Oliver's in P3. But I think Mansell has to pit this lap because he needs to respond. I think he needs to get rid of Oliver, or try to, because Bur-Meister will rejoin and get the one lap undercut to get ahead of him during the pit stops. Caspino on the back of Mindful Wasp. Here's the DRS there. The RP driver, despite footwind damage, has got some great pace. But what if Mindful Wasp pits first? Mansell will have to stay out, wouldn't he? Don't want to do the double stack.
Well, I'm kind of hoping that they're on a party and talking with each other to try and discover who's going to be doing what strategy, and kind of hoping that they'll always put Mansell ahead of Mindful Wasp for the pit stop strategy, and hopefully they don't mess each other up. However, like you said, Mansell has to respond now. He's got to pit. He's got to go on those hard tyres to react to what Bur-Meister's been doing.
A brief yellow flag. Cassidy went for a spin, the exit turn 2, but I bet there was a higher mark moment for those people who haven't pitted just yet, because that could really benefit them. But what will Mindful Wasp do? Is he going to stay out? Let's have a look right now to see what Mindful Wasp does. Is he going to extend his stint on the medium compound tyres? He is. Mindful Wasp is staying out. Is Mansell going to pit? Yes, he is. Yes. Mansell and Oliver are in the pit lane, and Adams goes through as well. So in the pit lane comes Mansell and Oliver. Crucially, where are they going to rejoin? Adhere to pit lane speed limiter, because if you get a 10-second penalty, that could ruin your race.
Well, Bur-Meister's coming through that final sector now. He's coming underneath the Rolex bridge, coming up towards the pit entry. Are they going to make it out in time? I don't think they are.
Oh!
Mansell, I can see he's on the move. Who was that? Sonic Core makes a spin out of the final corner, so Mansell's going to be trying to push now to get out ahead of Bur-Meister. We will find out in a second as Bur-Meister's coming out round by the pit exit. And where's Mansell going to come out? Mansell's going to come out ahead. Mansell will come out ahead of Bur-Meister, so that is crucial for his championship fight there. So obviously we're kind of hoping that Oliver's going to let Bur-Meister back through and attack Mansell now, as they're all on the same fresh tyres. And we'll go from there. We'll see who's got what.
Oh, Casti's retired in the pit lane, so no safety car deployed. Mindful Wasp was fighting Caspino going down into turn 9, but stays behind him. I think Mindful Wasp needs to pit right now, because his battle is with Zeno and Johan on fresher tyres. Doesn't get the undercut on Mindful Wasp. Caspino, we know, extending the stint on the hard compound tyres, go for the mediums, but he will have to change it for wing once he makes his pit stop as well, because he's lacking downforce. But crucially, Oliver and Bur-Meister are scrapping away. This is very interesting now. Oliver, are they working together?
They're still fighting. I'm not too sure. This is confusing me a bit, because I wouldn't say it's the cleanest of moves Oliver's pulling off, and all it takes is for him to be over that little bit too far and they make contact with each other. But I think they're going to try and use each other to slingshot to try and keep within Mansell's DRS and be able to pounce on him as and when they can.
Crucial. Where is Mindful Wasp going to rejoin? Is he going to rejoin in front of that traffic? There's the traffic. There's his teammate. Will his teammate get the undercut on him as he makes him out the pit lane? Mindful Wasp has rejoined down in P7, and crucially ahead of his teammate. Alas Copo's in the way, and so is Top G. The guys who were fighting earlier on in the stint as well, so he's rejoining P7. But his fight was with Johan and Zeno, but they got the undercut on him by massive undercut as well, but by good measure. So it's really cost Mindful Wasp, stayed out there 2-3 laps later, but will he have the tyre advantage later on the Grand Prix? Alas Copo now puts himself back into P5 ahead of Top G. Mindful Wasp has to overtake these two immediately, and behind him is his teammate as well, Oliver and Bur-Meister. So both Aston Martins together, and both Williams drivers are together. Johan is right back in Z. Remember, these two are going for the fight for the lead of the Grand Prix. He goes up into P3, a great move there from Johan.
And more crucially for both of the Aston Martin drivers, the gap between them and the Williams is 1.5 seconds. So that is why the Williams are going to be trying to use each other to sling, as they are a little bit behind, so they're going to try and use each other to get that bit closer.
Lap 14 out of 29, almost halfway through this Grand Prix. What a thriller so far. No safety cars has been thrown into the mix just yet, but we've seen plenty of scraps as well on this grid. It's been so intense, and there's still more to come because Caspino's yet to pit to go on the mini compound tyres. We chased it down Joachim and seen it towards the end of the Grand Prix. Mindful Wasp, he's going to be very careful though, because at the exit of turn 1, he might have picked up a track limit violation. He just ran out wide there, so Mindful Wasp has got to be very careful. He's on fresher tyres out a lot, putting the pressure on Alice Copo and Top G. As we head down towards turn 5, Alice Copo is going deep, and Mindful Wasp will pick up a better exit on those fresh hard compound tyres. DRS will be enabled. Mindful Wasp has to get past through quickly. His fight is with Zeno and Joachim, but Alice Copo is using the batteries just stay ahead there. Better straight line speed for the Red Bull driver. Oliver is ahead of Bur-Meister, so these two cannot get a DRS range of Mindful Wasp and Mansell, which is very pivotal for their race.
Absolutely, I'm just looking through Race Director now, and Mindful Wasp only has that one track limit warning. Same with Mansell and same with Oliver, so they've all got just the one track limit warning at this moment in time. So they've just got to try and keep on top of that now and make sure that they don't collect any more.
Ginger Tiger is in the way. As Top G picks himself up a 3-second penalty, Ginger Tiger is holding up Joachim, as those two needs to dispatch you quickly without causing any losing any time or causing any damage. So Joachim goes through. Zeno needs to go through quickly. Zeno's looking for his second podium of the season and potentially his first win, but the battle with Joachim is going to be very intense. I will say these two, Zeno and Joachim, despite their struggles, they were ready to quit, especially Joachim. He mentioned me saying he gave up and he didn't care no more, but he stuck with it, and he finally found a solution to his problems after spinning out with great qualifying pace and Zeno. Got to be very careful than more. You've got to be very careful than that, my friend. You can't afford to do that. He almost broke his wing right behind a Sauber because he's got different tyres, of course, so much more speed in comparison to him. But Ginger Tiger is still there. And Zeno needs to get past him immediately. Will Zeno go for a lunge? No, he won't. He'll stay behind him, but he can't afford to break the DRS. Right behind Mindful Wasp. He's up to P5 ahead of both of them. That was a double overtake there for Mindful Wasp, and he's finally relieved and puts himself into P5. Can he catch Zeno? But crucially, Zeno cannot overtake Ginger Tiger, which might allow Joachim to pull away.
Yeah, I've seen Ginger Tiger on those 14-lap-old hard tyres as Top G gets back past Mindful Wasp there. Xenon is going to try and have to set up a move and dispatch of Ginger Tiger as quickly as he can, just so that he can keep up with Joachim in that Haas, just to make sure that his chances of winning this race does not go away that quickly.
As Ginger Tiger finally peels off into the pit lane to put on the medium compound tyres, so Zeno will be absolutely annoyed with that one because he's broke the DRS gap, and it's so crucial to have DRS to keep at the back of your rivals. But now Joachim has got a breathing space. Can he use that gap to pull away as we continue to lap 16? 13 laps have to go. So far, a clean race from everybody. The two Williams have caught up now to Mansell after all these guys are scrapping away. P4 downwards have had an almighty scrap so far, and it's about to get intense because both Williams have caught up. Mindful Wasp is desperate to overtake Banshee. There's contact too as we head down towards turn 5 there, but be very patient now. I can't afford to throw anything away in this race. A Mindful Wasp with the DRS enabled, as you can see, Top G defenders all as he can. Here comes Mansell now on the Red Bull, and here comes Bur-Meister and Oliver. Mindful Wasp is about to go side by side as we head down towards turn 7. He's getting also close in the braking zone. Oliver's ahead of the Red Bull. Can he make a stint? There's contact. Bur-Meister gets a better exit. Bur-Meister is up into P8 now, ahead of the Red Bull driver, and here comes Mansell on his teammate, and he puts himself into P5. That's crucial there.
Absolutely. Definitely. I think Mindful Wasp there, seeing that Mansell was starting to get under pressure there, and he's going to try and do a Perez now. He's going to try and make sure that he can try and hold those Williams drivers behind him as much as he can, and hope that Mansell tries to get ahead of Top G as quickly as he possibly can, as we see Caspino is now into the pits.
It's going to be a longer pit stop than usual because Caspino has broken his wing a few laps ago. In fact, Caspino does not change his wing, so he feels comfortable out there to go on the medium compound tyres with 12 laps left to go with a broken end plate. Will that affect him later on? We did see some great pace from him on the hard compound tyres despite a broken end plate. Kept up with the top 4 originally. Zeno is 1.7 seconds away from Joachim. Is there any pace left in that Ferrari to try and get his first win of the season, or is Joachim after a great comeback drive, great recovery, after wanting to quit in the last few races, but found something in the last few races. I don't know what he found, but he's done a fantastic job so far. A former champion of SFI himself is Johan, and here is the DRS enabled with Mansell having a massive overspeed, and here comes Mindful Wasp. It's a double slipstream as we head down towards turn 7. They're side by side in the braking zone, but which one of them will get ahead of who? Bit of contact there between those two, and Mansell does not get a better exit, and here comes Oliver on his teammate too on Bur-Meister. We go side by side with the Aston Martin, and Mindful Wasp will go ahead. No, he doesn't. He boxes him in.
No, he boxed him in. He's blocking.
He boxed him in, and here comes Bur-Meister from the inside. The Mercedes goes deep in the corner, and Bur-Meister is up into P5 ahead of the Mercedes driver. Here comes Oliver now, side by side with Top G, who's really struggling as we head down towards turn 12. This is so intense. Here comes the Mercedes, who has to cut the corner to take a forward action here, as Oliver up the inside into 13 and 14, a place you don't want to go side by side. Could there be a crash? No, there isn't, but they both had to slow down there, and Oliver is up into P6, but Aston Martin versus Williams.
Oh, I thought it was going to be another Latifi moment there with Oliver and Top G through that corner there. They're really close here. Things are ramping up now. There are 12 laps left of this race, if I am right, I think. I can't do quick maths at this moment in time. However, at this moment in time, Mansell can win the championship over Bur-Meister. All he has to do is keep himself in front of Bur-Meister, and if not, if he does drop behind, to try and keep as close to Bur-Meister as possible. However, Mindful Wasp is being the best wingman he possibly can for Mansell. So at this moment in time, the championship is in Mansell's favour.
Mindful Wasp is there when it mattered the most in the last race. I know those two haven't had the best relationship so far this season, but he's there to help him in the final race. Here comes Bur-Meister around the outside. Into turn 9 we go. Can Bur-Meister try and go around the outside into turn 9? No, he can't. Doesn't have the drive or the grip to do so like Hamilton did on George Russell. Mindful Wasp stays in P4. This is great defending there, being a very good wingman to him so far. It's really nice to see these two work together, despite having a bit of self-confidence between the two in the team, a bit of drama early season. They put that to the side and put it to bed, and they're working well together. Mansell will be thanking Mindful Wasp like he did the Austrian Grand Prix, and it's nice to see two teammates working really well. Two teammates versus two teammates. It's two Aston Martins versus two Williams, and this is so intense now between those two teams. Caspino, Peter, the new media compound tires. Watch out for him in 10 laps left to go.
Yeah. 100%. Obviously, Johan there, he's managing that gap. He's 1.3 seconds ahead of Xenon. However, this battle is 6.5 seconds behind both of them at this moment of time for P3 and P4, P5 and P6. They're all really close together. Not forgetting Top G is in that battle. He's still with them. As Atlas Copa is bringing himself into this, as well as Adams as well. Adams tries to make a move down in the inside of Atlas Copa there. He doesn't quite make it. However, Copa does just get caught on that curb through the chicane. That little bit is Adams. He's going to try and make this battle move, in which he does try and make a move down onto the inside. Is he going to make it stick? He does. As here comes the Alpine of Caspino now. Caspino is all over the back of Atlas Copa as well, so he is bringing himself back in onto those medium tyres, and he goes to make a move down the inside. Can he make the move stick? He does. However, Atlas Copa has the inside, there's a little bit of contact there. I'm not too sure as Atlas Copa loses the back end out of that corner there, which is unfortunate for him. However, Caspino is coming, and can he be a troublemaker for this Williams and Aston Martin battle?
Yeah, it'll be a cat amongst the pigeons with the Aston Martin swap just being in between them guys after they're fighting away in the championship, not only for the drivers' championship but for the constructors as well, because they're quite close together, are Aston Martin Williams. But here comes Bur-Meister right step back on Mindful Wasp as we head down towards turn 5. Is there any way Bur-Meister, as you can see, deep on the brakes? Is this going to be a switchback under and over for Bur-Meister? Gets a better exit. Then Mindful Wasp with DRS enabled for both drivers. using the instrument DRS on the back of Mansell, but as you can see, more ERS being used for Mindful Wasp as he stays ahead, close the DRS as he stays behind his teammate. This is great tactics, great teamwork for both drivers indeed. This is fantastic, thrilling racing between all four of these guys. And Caspino, watch out for him. Junior Tiger is ahead of him. Mills. Here comes Bur-Meister now with the DRS enabled again on Mindful Wasp, but not able to make a move. You can see the Aston Martin harvesting down the straight. Bur-Meister, can he go on the outside? Does he have the grip to do so? No, because Mindful Wasp closed the door and there's no way past for the Williams driver, so he could stay behind again.
I was going to say, every time he tries to make these moves, Mindful Wasp always has an answer. He's harvesting where he can, and he's using that ERS as and where he can, as well as getting the advantage from that DRS from Mansell. Need to interrupt because there's a battle for the top two. There's a battle for the top two. Zeno is in the DRS range of your home. We've got a fight for the lead and we've got a fight for P3. This is going to go down to the wire. I cannot wait to see what happens because this has put me on the edge throughout the whole time. I was going to say, Xenon, he's going to be in that DRS range of Johan now. He's closing the gap. He's gaining and gaining and gaining. He doesn't have as strong a slipstream as the other guys, as they will have double slipstream from each other's car. However, he's just getting up towards that chicane section as Johan gets a little bit of scrappy drive out, but he doesn't out of that second corner as Xenon is just that little bit too far behind, but he is within that DRS range now. As Bur-Meister is closing down on Mindful Wasp and he's alongside and he's past him. He's just trying to cut off the front of him. Here comes Oliver as well. Oliver's going to try and make a move stick as well. Bur-Meister with the fastest middle sector, so he is pushing. However, Mindful Wasp is still there. He's not letting this through because he does not want Bur-Meister to get ahead of Mansell. And things are starting to hot up as there's contact. Mindful Wasp goes into the back of Bur-Meister. Oliver now gets onto the underside of Mindful Wasp, sorry. So now it is an Aston Martin sandwich, and Williams are going to try and take advantage of this now as there is a yellow flag, as there is a Ferrari, I think it is. That is...
No! It's Zeno! Zeno spun again! Oh my goodness me. And he cuts the corner and he gets a 3-second time penalty indeed. It's gone bad to work. Zeno, who just got himself a DRS range of Yarholm, has now made a big mistake again, unfortunately for the Ferrari driver. And this time, he might not even get the podium towards the end of the Grand Prix. Look at Mansell go. He is gone. Look at this. Oliver around the outside of his own teammate. Here comes Mindful Wasp. Here comes Adams on top G. As we go side by side, contact between the two. Oliver gets a 3-second time penalty in an obscure place. As we head down, Zeno's going to drop like a stone. Look at him. He's lost 3 places. Here comes Mindful Wasp on Oliver as we head down towards turn 7, side by side. Because Mindful Wasp does get ahead of Oliver. In the background, that's Top G versus Adams. Caspino's gone through because the two of them made contact. Here comes Caspino on the back of Zeno as the DRS is enabled. He's on the medium compound tires, remember, as we head down towards turn 9. No moves being made, but Adams has slowed down to let Top G go. So probably Adams has pushed him off the track and has let him go. So nice sportsmanship there, but unfortunately those two have broken out the DRS trade.
Yeah, it's such a shame there for Xenon. Just spun there out of that final corner. Whether his tyres, he's pushed a little bit too hard on the tyres, we're not too sure. However, Mindful Wasp is not letting Bur-Meister go. He is gaining and gaining as they come up towards the final corners to go down the home stretch to strike down another lap, as we are now on lap 23 of 29 of the season finale here of Division 2 of Abu Dhabi. Who's going to come out on top? Is Bur-Meister going to try and overtake Mansell? Is Mindful Wasp going to try and get back at Bur-Meister? Obviously, Mansell's going to be a bit of a sitting stuck here with the DRS zone coming up. So, it's going to be all to play for.
Temporarily, Mansell got himself out of DRS range, but Zeno was in the way. But obviously, Bur-Meister had the DRS at the back of Zeno. Therefore, Bur-Meister opened his rear way to get himself closer and closer. Now, Mansell weaves as we head down towards the heavy braking zone. Bur-Meister's in a bit of trouble because he's a nasty Martin sandwich there. As we head down towards the braking zone, you can see Mindful Wasp all over the back of the Williams driver, looking to try and get a better exit out of turn 7 and turn 8 with the DRS enabled again. Mindful Wasp is using his battery as he closes on the back of Bur-Meister, constantly putting the Williams under under massive pressure. Caspino is ahead of Zeno as we head down towards turn 9. Bur-Meister stays in P3. Do you know what? Despite this intensity of battling on the whole race, I respect all of these guys for keeping the laps clean. Yes, it got a bit close for comfort sometimes, but at least it's a bit of a wheel bagging, but not too much. But thank you these guys for keeping it nice and clean. It's so intense, this championship battle, but the respect for all these guys as well, the work ethic, the race etiquette from all these guys have been incredible.
100%. Everyone's always had that respect for the guys on and off of the track. They've always left enough space. There's been a little bit of wheel banging, but there's nothing enough that's affected someone's race so much that they can't come back from it as such. Everyone's been thriving off of each other's mistakes. As Adams get a 3-second time penalty now. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting as Mindful Wasp gets a really nice move out of that. Bur-Meister nearly goes into the back of Mansell there, which now allows Mindful Wasp to get a nice drive out of the hairpin as Oliver now comes down onto the inside of Mindful Wasp as well. Bur-Meister's got the DRS as well. Who's going to come out on top of this? Mansell still ahead. Here comes Oliver down the inside. He's going to make a move onto the Williams driver. They have a little bit of contact on the side paths. Bur-Meister still ahead. Oliver makes a little bit of contact with Mindful Wasp. Bur-Meister still ahead of Mindful Wasp as here comes Oliver for round 2 of the battle. Oliver's going to try to go down the inside into this. Does he make the move stick this time? He does. However, Mindful Wasp is trying to make the move back onto the inside. He's going to try and get the outside. Or is he going to make the undercut and try and cut back down to the inside, in which he doesn't have enough space or pace to do so? That's been a mouthful right there. However, it is now back to an Aston Martin sandwich with Mansell at the front, Bur-Meister and Oliver in the middle as Caspino gets a 3-second time penalty and Mindful Wasp at the back to try and cause some trouble with the 2 Williams drivers.
Can you believe what we're seeing? Action-packed. All 4 of them went at it down at turn 7. Oliver tried against his teammate, put himself offline. Mindful Wasp tried to go around the outside, couldn't quite do so. Oliver remained in P4, but here we are with the 2 Williams versus Mansell. Mansell finds himself in a bit of a predicament here with the 2 Williams now being right behind him. With 4 laps left to go, I have no idea how this is going to plan out. I need somebody in the chat, I need the admins in the chat to try and work out the championship standings if they can, because me and Simo are currently occupied with this battle. Here we are heading down towards turn 7. Bur-Meister is not looking for a move for the time being as they all bunch up heading down towards the chicane here. Look at Zeno there taking a lot of curves there. Might have picked himself a warning too. But Oliver gets a twitchy exit out of turn 8 and Mindful Wasp might put him under pressure going down into turn. Here he goes on the inside. Down the inside he goes. Can he make a stick? Yes, he can. Mindful Wasp has put himself into P4. What a great lunge there. A great lunge. Made the stick, made the corner. And here comes Oliver back around the outside. Into turn 12 we go. But Mindful Wasp is late on the brakes. Can you believe what we're watching? Highlight of the season here between all these 4 drivers. All these 4 drivers are in a Drivers' Championship fight and a Constructors' Championship fight. But so far, in this 25-lap race, they have made it out cleanly. I can't believe what I'm seeing right now today. These 4 drivers have put on an incredible show. Fantastic indeed.
Absolutely. I'm just working things out at this moment in time, and if it finishes how it is, Mansell will win with 366 points. Bur-Meister will have 355. However, if they swap, I think it will be Mansell who still win, and he will be on 357 as Oliver makes a little bit of contact there with Mindful Wasp as they both try and come down to the DRS side now. Mindful Wasp still gets that drag ahead of Oliver, and he's going to try and make that move stick so he gets to the chicane as Bur-Meister now gets ahead of Mansell. That was a crucial move for him. However, it is not enough at this moment in time as Mansell will still win the championship with 364 points. Bur-Meister will be 357 at this moment in time. So Bur-Meister at the moment in time is not doing enough to win this championship.
Mansell's
so
back ahead of Bur-Meister.
Things are ahead. No, you're all good. So at this moment in time, mathematically, Mansell will still win it.
Can you believe, despite this battle, the gap was 7 seconds between Yarholm and Mansell, and yet Mansell's brought the gap down to 6.2. Obviously, a lot of these guys are going to win. Yarholm's got into the bag, unless, of course, he has a mistake or pick up a penalty. But Yarholm should win this Grand Prix. What a fantastic drive. I feel sorry for him because the spotlight's been taken away, because the battles between second, third, and fourth, and fifth have been super, super intense as well. So, well done to Yarholm for keeping it nice and clear, but consistent, and picking off Speed at the right time, doing the undercut on those guys, because Speedo couldn't unfortunately do the undercut because he's broken full wing. But here we are, down towards turn 5 again. Oliver is right at the back of Mindful Wasp as we head down towards the breaker zone. Is he going to force from the inside? No, he's not, but he's trying to do the under and over, trying to take the wider line to cut back through and get a better, look at that, had a better exit, but hit the back of him as both of them will have DRS. Here comes Bur-Meister on Mansell, the two championship leaders, goes up into second place ahead of Bur-Meister as Mindful Wasp is stays in P4 then, using the DRS to the back of his teammate, as Oliver takes a lot of curve on the outside too. Be very careful not to lock the rears up going towards that braking zone as we head out of turn 7. There is 3 laps left to go. Oliver gets a much better exit, more traction out the corner, and he's defending his Mindful Wasp. Everything he can to defend against the Williams driver.
Here comes Mansell, is going to try and make a move down the inside. Sorry to cut you off there, but Mansell is going to make a move down the inside of Bur-Meister. He didn't have enough time or space to make the move stick, so he's still behind Bur-Meister. However, he will still have that DRS down those 2 straights if he can stay behind Bur-Meister at this point in time.
Oh my goodness, this 29-lap race, it's been so intense. Can you believe that these guys have kept it so clean? The respect, the race etiquette between all of these guys, fighting for pride on the track as well. They're still fighting for a podium as Mindful Wasp, but I know he wants a podium as Mindful Wasp. He's trying to get Bur-Meister if he can, but at the same time he knows he's got to let his teammates stay ahead of him to defend from Oliver. Oliver spun out of turn 1, and that's his chances over. Unfortunately for Oliver, he's dropped down into P8. He's lost traction now, and Bur-Meister will be under massive pressure from both Aston Martins behind. So Bur-Meister's Rias Gunner is out of this equation.
Absolutely. Unfortunately there for Oliver, he just made that little bit of a mistake. He lost traction. Now Bur-Meister does not have his wingman. However, Mindful Wasp is with Mansell, so he's going to have both Aston Martins going to be attacking him down this next straight, and see where they can go from there. Hopefully, if Mindful Wasp can get ahead of Bur-Meister as well as Mansell gets ahead of them, then Mindful Wasp will still get that podium, and it'll be an absolute flyer of a race for the Aston Martin team if they can come home second and third today.
Top G goes around the outside of Xenon, going down towards turn 9. They're going side by side. Top G, oh, it's a spinner! Contact, and Xenon has spun the car, just went in the side pod, and it goes from bad to worse for the Ferrari driver, unfortunately. But the battle for second place is not over because Mansell still puts the pressure on Bur-Meister. Bur-Meister gets a bit of a bad exit out on turn 4 to the back of the car, just complaining. But as we head down towards the final corner, Yarholm will start his last lap here in Abu Dhabi. And guess what? The gap is 4.1 between Yarholm and Bur-Meister. The gap's gone down massively.
It's gone down.
It's
gone down by 2 seconds. I think he is. Yeah, I don't know whether he's keeping himself at bay and trying to manage the tyres, but it's going down. It's 3.8 seconds.